upper rear deck is framed out. All coming up on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, that is Rusty, the yawning and very famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Well, yeah, I didn't get much video of any of this today, but I'll show you kind of the aftermath. It's hard to tell, but if you can look up there, look right above my thumb there. You see something extra up there you didn't used to see before. That's because the light above in the top roof of my pole barn here is lighting up one of the beams that is going across that frames out the whole upper deck thing now. Got that all framed out. And as I had said a long time ago, I said, well, doing that part's going to be fairly easy because it's kind of like building a doghouse. Problem is, it's building a doghouse 15 feet up in the air, standing on the little platform and trying not to flip off. So it took me quite a while. Plus, I'm doing it myself. I really needed somebody else to help me hold some boards into place while I'm trying to drill them in from either while lying down on the deck and bending over it to get into the right position, or while having to stand up on the ladder and making sure I'm not going to die falling off the ladder, like I say, 10 to 15 feet above the floor of the shop here. So went rather slowly because I had to really take my time to make sure I didn't die. But all the framing stuff is now up there, and so now at least doing the inner walls on the inside and stuff is going to be fairly easy. I can do it, from the inside part. And while I was standing up there, once I got like the back rail on and stuff, I had things to hold on to, so it started getting easier. Once my wife got home from work, she did get up there and help me hold some boards in place because I needed to put pressure on some of these boards that were going up against the wall of the truck, and I put that rubberized, it's made for the bottom of a garage door. And for those of you wondering, no, that's not going to be the only seal to keep weather out. This is just simply something to put between the boards and the back of the cab, which is just the fiberglass up there, so that if everything starts vibrating, the rubber can absorb some of the vibration, and it won't just be hardwood banging on the back of the cab. So it was mainly kind of a vibration and just kind of a damper method. The ceiling's all going to come up later once the quarter-inch wafer board's on and the diamond plate's on. Then we'll be sealing around that. This will just be kind of a secondary seal, and like I say, mainly to keep the vibration down. But I'll show you basically from the outside and everything, and from the inside, what all took place today. Being a one-man show, of course, it took quite a while for me to get this all put into place up there and all framed out. So we can start doing the inner skin, as I'm going to call it, and the outer skin, and of course then we'll sandwich all the insulation, which I still have right over here that I bought the other day, in between the walls and the roof and so forth, and the ceiling, and of course the floor underneath. So we'll give you some different angles here. One thing I forgot to do initially is I didn't countersink these bolts. I need them to be countersunk so that the outer skin I'm going to put on there, I need to be flush with the board, much like I did with those hinges on the cabinet doors inside. So I stupidly put all these bolts in along here, these three on this side and the three on the other side. Then once I got all that done, realized, oh yeah, I need to countersink that, so I had to take them all back out and then put in the bigger bit on there, so I could do a bigger hole so I can countersink the bolt and the washer. So that's what we did there, and of course we did that up at the top too. You can't see because the light's in the way, but I'll show you some other stuff. So you can see now with the board and that rubber in between it and the wall, like I say, it's mainly just going to be for vibration. And if you look, straight board and angled, but it has to be angled to follow the wall, because the back wall of the cab does lean in. Looking up underneath, see I've got all this space in between each little rafter there, where I'll be putting in the insulation. This is going to be the thickest amount of insulation, which makes sense. It's going to be underneath, so all the cold air that might swirl up underneath while I'm sleeping or whatever, well, we want the most insulation there. It's only going to be 1.5 inches there on the side walls, 1.5 inches there on the rear wall. This gives you a little bit better look. There, we get the light out of the way. On the back here, seeing how it's all framed out on the sides. And I don't have the frames for the back wall yet. And I'll tell you why, but I've changed my mind, and I'll give you the whole story. All right, here's looking at this side. And you can see, maybe if I can get it to focus, a little rubber strip that's up there. And I put the rubber strip on the beam going all the way across the top right against the back of the cab as well. And like I say, we'll build the walls off of that, and I will put the beams in going across the back right there. This is a fairly decent shot. You can see now how that one board is leaning with the cab. The other three are not. Once my wife came home, she was able to help me hold the boards up there so I can mark those so that they'd still be flush with the other boards, so that I can still create the whole kind of a box situation. And especially with that fairing gun there, of course, you can see a better idea of how much this is extending out from the rear of the cab. Those are deep fairings, 20 inches deep. That's why this thing only going 34 inches deep total out. Once that fairing's back up, you won't really notice all that much. Now, a lot of people have been asking how you're going to get the mattress up there. And that's why I was initially leaving out the supports going across the very, very back wall of the upper deck, because I was going to shove it up that way. Well, after being up there about 15 feet off the ground, working all day, and trying not to die and everything, I thought, trying to hoist the mattress up there, especially something that's kind of flimsy, is not going to be that easy. So, if those of you who remember have been watching all along, I ordered the Tuft & Needle Mint mattress, which is one of those bed-in-a-box mattresses. So it comes in a box, about, this big around, still a hefty sized box, but much smaller than the mattress, would be if it were completely out. And it's kind of rolled up. So I figured, since I don't have the passenger seat in here, we'll just bring it in the passenger seat door. I can still hoist it up over the bunk here, because I haven't put my headboard stuff in yet. There's going to be headboard bars going across there, because without them, my pillows are just all going to flip down. So I don't want that. I like to mash my pillows up and kind of wedge myself in the bed. So until I put those up, the mattress can still go up that way. So that way I can go ahead and finish off that back wall in the upper deck area, and then get all the insulation in. And that's what we'll be working on the next couple of days. It's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow. It's supposed to be up into the lower 60s here for November in Wyoming. Not gonna complain, baby. So that gives me a chance to handle the mattress situation later, and I can get up there tomorrow and finish, putting those supports going up the back wall. And I'm going to start putting in the inside wall stuff, where I'm going to be using a lot more of the vinyl that originally was in the truck that I've saved for this very purpose. This here was on the back wall, up in the upper bunk area, the way the truck used to be. So this is going to go up on the back wall, right up there. So when you're looking in from the front of the truck towards the back wall of what will be now the back wall, this will be up there. Might as well utilize what we already have. It's that nice padded, dark gray vinyl. So it'll look good up there. I'm going to use some more that I had that went on the underside of the upper bunk, that's still in the other garage, main garage, that'll go up the sidewall on the right side. Now the sidewall on the passenger side up there, that's where there's going to be another little cabinet that I'm building out. So it's going to have little cabinet doors that are going to match the cabinet doors like back here, and in the closet, and everywhere else. So have a uniform look throughout the truck. And then I'm going to have that little nightstand area up there as well, with a light over it and a little cabinet underneath. So that's what's going to happen on the passenger side. So using the vinyl for the other two sides, I think it's going to make it look really nice, and it's going to match everything else that's already in the truck. This is kind of the whole point. So that then when the whole thing's done, it'll look like it was meant to be this way. Now I'm giving you a view here of the upper bunk area now that you from the inside of the truck, where you can see how the box is shaping out. Okay, there's the driver's side. And over here is the passenger side. Like I say, right there, I'll put an arrow in. There'll be a little nightstand area, and behind that, towards the back wall, inside this beam and that beam, will be a little closet. Another little closet for extra stuff, extra clothes and things up here. So I'm going to have extra storage that I'm building in. Of course, there's my nice carpeted landing now. I've got the vinyl wrapping this beam. What I'm probably going to still do tonight is vacuum up all the dust, up all the sawdust and everything I created down there. And then I'll probably go ahead and paint these side beams. You're probably not going to see these beams because of the mattress, but I want at least the little top edge of them painted on the inside all the way around here, and the top across there, and along this side. Now, Once you get over that beam, there's going to be little storage cubbies, and there's going to be a little piece coming up here, so the vent can go into this cabinet, which will be built, and there's going to be an outlet right there, so you can plug in like your iPhone or something up here in the bed area. So doesn't that sound cool? So that's how all that is going to come together. Just quickly, for those of you curious, after I nicked my pinky there on the table saw last Wednesday night, that would have been Thanksgiving Eve, and boy did this thing gush. Boy, it bled. But it's not that bad, and it's healing up. So put a new Band-Aid on it tonight. Let it breathe for a little while tonight. And tonight, we have black. And speaking of Band-Aids, that made me think of the fact that this is not actually a Band-Aid. This is what? This is the Curad Performance Series Variety Pack Antibacterial Bandages. Band-Aid is a brand. And you know what I found out? The Curads are a hell of a lot better at staying on than the Band-Aid brand. It's just like, okay, this is Kleenex because it's the brand, Kleenex. But if you buy Puffs or like just the Kroger brand or whatever, we still call it Kleenex, but it's a facial tissue. That's just one of those things that's always interested me, how, yeah, we call it Kleenex, we call it because it's a brand name, but it's not a Kleenex, it's a facial tissue. And this is not a Band-Aid, it's a adhesive bandage. You know, just like growing up in Colorado, we'd go to a restaurant and we'd say, oh, I'll have a Coke, and they'd say, what flavor? Here's something else I want to mention that, because of the whole pandemic, things are in short supply. I'm sure you've noticed that. Try to go out to any restaurants and stuff. Oh, we're closing at 7 tonight because we don't have enough employees and crap like that. The spray paint. I bought the Gloss Protective Enamel Smoke Gray for most of what I've been doing in here. I bought out everything they had at Menards. Went to Lowe's. They did not have the Smoke Gray. They have the Charcoal Gray, which is not bad. I mean, there's various colors of gray in this truck, so I can deal with different grays. But I want to be able to finish one part of the project with that sort of gray. Yeah, so they didn't have the one I wanted at Lowe's, so I got the Charcoal Gray, and that's what I used to paint the upper area, which actually matches closer to the vinyl. Take a look. Okay, like I said earlier, this will be inside the nightstand in the closet. You really won't be able to see that. And the mattress will be thicker and cover up most of this extra board there and along the back, and along the side, and down this side. But I wanted it all to be painted so that it looks nice. So while I'm at least tucking my bed in, I can say, oh, that looks nice and matches. So there's the Charcoal Gray. Not too bad. Pretty close match to the vinyl. So there you go. And that's where I'm stopping tonight. So there's no need to paint the entire deck. The mattress will be covering most of that. I just wanted the top edges, maybe like when you're tucking the sheets and the comforter down, and you might see that little top edge. I wanted that to be matching everything else in the truck. So that's how I'm kind of doing this thing. Now, this area right up here behind my head, there's going to be a cabinet there. It's going to be painted gray, either in the Charcoal Gray or the Smoke Gray, whichever I have left. So that's going to be covering up, because we have the vinyl there, right there, it's going to be covered. So that's all going to be covered up. And all the exposed wood underneath you see for the rafters right there right now, where my thumb is going to be having that wainscoting, which is like that cabinet right there where I'm aiming my thumb at. So it'll all match too. My whole goal was to not have any exposed wood looking stuff. So it'll all look built in, it'll all look like it's supposed to be there. And you won't have just like extra wood beams sticking out like that going, well, why the hell's that there, huh? At this point, we're really close to finishing out the whole inside stuff. All right, as I put up the vinyl, as I put up, do some more painting, and I put up the cabinets and everything, we're real close to finishing up the whole inside, which will be pretty cool. So, you know, like I said in the last video, I'm done predicting. I don't know how long it's going to take. But I'm not going out until it's completely done, and I want it done right. So there'll be some more videos, obviously. Stick by for that. Hope you've been enjoying these so far. I've been basically remodeling an entire small house, and I've had to utilize everything that's in the walls and make sure it can be structurally sound. So it's taken a while. But thanks for following along. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. Hope you enjoyed that. Kind of not too long tonight, but yeah, there just wasn't. I couldn't do a lot of showing in the process of doing today, just because it was too hard getting up and down up in there and trying to put everything in place and try not to flip off of the thing and not die. So, you know, what can I say? Right, Rusty? Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment if you'd like to. I get your comments usually within 24 hours while doing this project. Don't forget about Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Now, I do believe my husband, your boss, Marcellus Wallace, told you to take me out. And I want to dance, and I want to win. I want that trophy, so you better dance good. Here it is. Here's the bacon strip. Oh, it went up there. Can you get it? All right. You got it. Yep, it has to bring it back down to the same spot, though, every time to eat it. Don't you? Yeah. Because you are a meatball dog. Well, you're giving us lots of happy dog looks. That's nice. Gobbling that thing down, baby. It's like me and mashed potatoes, right? Alright, I think you got it.